Welcome back, everybody. Turning 65 is a major Medicare milestone, but for couples, things can get complicated when you're different ages. Now, still working or relying on one spouse's employer coverage. Now, Martha and Elliot Clopin join us now with what couples need to know. Good to see you guys.
Good to be here.
I'm so glad that we're talking about this. During commercial break, you were talking about how not a lot of the couples, they don't really know what type of information or they have a lot of questions, but don't you fret, that's where you guys come in.
That's right.
So tell everybody a little bit about how can couples enroll in Medicare together as a family plan?
Well, that's just the biggest, thing that people don't realize. You cannot sign up as a family plan. When you're working, family plan, but with Medicare, it's an individual journey. And because it's based on your age, sometimes one spouse is a different age. So one spouse can jump right into Medicare, but the other spouse has to seek a different type of health care coverage. So there is no family coverage when it comes to Medicare.
Does it automatically kick in if you claim Social Security at 62?
Yes, if somebody has claimed Social Security benefits, which is different from the insurance part, if they've claimed those monthly benefits, when 65 rolls around, you get this beautiful red, white, and blue card in the mail, and you'll be enrolled. But when you're not collecting at 62, that's when you have to be proactive based on when your employer coverage ends.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for clearing that up. Now, Martha, let's talk about 65. What happens if the older spouse turns 65, but the younger spouse is still working and providing the family's health insurance? Do they have to sign up? And what happens if that job is suddenly lost?
Well, two things there. So the first thing is wonderful if you have a spouse that's younger that continues to work. Even if you turn 65, if the employer size is over a certain number, that number would be 20, then you do not have to necessarily enroll in Medicare. You can delay. And there's a part of Medicare that has a monthly premium. So that's why that's a very valuable benefit. However, if that spouse, the younger spouse, were to lose that employment, then that 65 or 65 plus year old has to go out and get their Medicare Part A and B and get a replacement plan. So these are things that no one talks about, and people often just get the surprise of their life to find out if they don't do this correctly, penalties and also gaps in coverage can be the consequence.
There's something earlier that you just said in this interview, and that was being proactive. And I'm loving how, you're giving everybody the information now so that they don't get that blindside surprise later on. What if the older working spouse covers a younger spouse, 62 years old, and retires at 65, or the older and the employer insurance ends? What happens with that?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And so everything is reversed now, because many times we'll have that spouse that's 65 and older believe that they have to stay on a plan to keep the family covered. But actually, the older spouse that's 65 or older can go ahead and jump into Medicare, and then there's COBRA coverage if you were working, or healthcare.gov used to be Obamacare. So those are options, the appropriate options for your younger family. But we have people that are paying thousands and thousands of dollars per month in insurance because they think they need to have that other insurance, but they need to get their Medicare because their employer plan has gone away. So one of the reasons we chose this topic, someone listening said, hey, Martha, talk about couples, because my spouse and I, we just cannot communicate well about what to do with the insurance. And my spouse is talking to friends and I'm talking to other people, and we're all confused. So they said, please, talk about this, and thank Living 808 for always allowing us to present this educational information.
Yeah, no, of course. And obviously, we love listening to our viewers, and I'm so glad that people are comfortable just asking you guys if you guys can talk about this, because if they're having questions, who else is probably having questions too, right?
Exactly.
Okay, Elliot, let's bring you into the conversation. What about stay-at-home parents or spouses who didn't work outside the home? Can a non-working spouse still qualify for Medicare if they don't have enough work credits on their own?
Yes, they can. And when they're aging into 65, they can actually claim under their spouse's work record, as long as that spouse is at least 62 years old. So this is a way where if somebody was like a homemaker or a caregiver, they can still get onto Medicare Part A premium free, even though they didn't necessarily pay into the system themselves. So very important piece of the puzzle right here.
Very important. What are your top tips for couples listening today to make sure they get this timeline right?
Absolutely. Well, I would say planning is very good. Plan at least 6 months in advance of that 65th birth month, or plan at least 6 months in advance if you know you're going to be coming off of that employer plan. That way you can get prepared for the paperwork, you can get prepared for the HR process, whatever it's going to take. That way you're not blindsided,
Yeah.
and you can be prepared for what's coming.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you both for coming on to Living 808. A lot of great information that our viewers can take away. We hope this answers, the person that came up to you. We hope this answers your question. But if anybody had other questions, maybe they want to, reach out to you guys to work with you. What's a good website they should log on to?
They can go to getmartha.com. I set up a special website just for people who just want answers, so they're very, very clear. We're not selling anything. We just want to help.
Look at you being proactive. Taking your own. Get Martha. Okay, you guys, getmartha.com as well as our website, kh12.com. Elliot and Martha, thank you so much. Always great seeing you both.
Thank you. Thank you.